Okay, good morning and welcome to the Bitter Knitters podcast. We're Wednesday, June 21st, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Jacqueline. I have with me Arthur.
Hello.
And Ryan.
I hate this time of the morning.
And clearly Ryan is representing the bitter part of us this morning.
Today, at least.
So our Wednesday show we mentioned on Mondays, hopefully going to be a little lighter.
Mm.
Maybe not less angrier because I know we're going to rant a little bit later.
Less.
But we have some funny stories to talk about. I think, did you find the Marco Rubio story, Ryan? Are you up to date on it? Okay. So yesterday, or I don't know when this is from, maybe from when Donald Trump was in Florida a few days ago. But there's a picture that was all over the internet of Marco Rubio trying to hug Ivanka Trump. Mm-hmm. And she's appears to be not reciprocating in this picture. She's got her arms to her side. She's got a strange face, and he's going in for the hug. So this morning, for whatever reason, I guess that hurt Marco Rubio's feelings. He went on a little bit of a Twitter rant, and it was very bizarre. Like, one of them said, "Just left Intel calm and informed meeting today with @Ivanka Trump blowing up Twitter over alleged failed hug. Investigating. Will respond soon." Like, investigating? And then he responded with, like, "We believe we have our own unclassified photographic evidence that will shed greater details on this incident. If you were filming at the Senate carriage entrance today between 11:20 and 11:25 a.m., we are seeking your assistance with an active investigation." Like, it's ridiculous. So then finally, 30 minutes after the original one, he has a couple of pictures where Ivanka's touching his shoulder and leaning in to talk to him, and he's got his hand near her waist. So, they're having not afraid to touch him is what he's trying to show us. And she even responded with a tweet of herself saying, "Anonymous sources say at Marco Rubio planned the alleged failed hug. I have no comment, but I would have hugged him anyway." Happy face emoji. And then she said, "Fake news, Marco is an excellent hugger."
Okay. I think this is their failed attempt at humor.
Absolutely.
Definitely failed.
And it's not funny. And it's like, Marco... you know what was funny, actually, Marco, when you failed at trying to be the president of the United States. I remember that.
Well, it was funny when he called out President Obama, or not then president, but President Trump on his
45th.
Yeah, 45.
45th. Sorry, that's right. 45. We're gonna call him 45. I mean, he kind of got a little feisty, and even when he was at the convention, when he said, vote with your, was it him that said vote with your heart and your conscience?
Yes, that was him. Yeah,
I mean, I have zero respect for him. Or was that Ted Cruz? I think it was Rubio. I have zero respect for him. But, I mean, at that moment in time, I had a little, like, wow, he kind of has a small spine in there. Mm-hmm. But now he's just weird. He's so weird. Why did you have to do 7 tweets like that? It's so awkward.
I feel like okay, let me know, because that's rude. But I feel like leave humor like that to somebody who actually can pull it off. Like, you can't. It's not, number one, I don't think it's something that's super funny. Because, the political climate really isn't the best right now. And I know that, you want to lighten things up. But this is just a little too, like, really, Marco? Like, you couldn't have found something else to be funny about? Like, I don't know, maybe tweet something that's actually really like, this isn't funny.
Maybe
to me, it's not funny.
Maybe go recognize climate change in your state as it's about to sink into the ocean.
Yeah. Like, that would be funny for you to do and be like, "Jinx, I don't believe it. Science is a hoax and the world only exists for 5,000 years. That you do that, I'd be like, what, that's actually, it's idiotic, but it's funny. And I'd be like, what, guys, actually, that's really, really funny. Don't give him too much flack. But this is like,
now.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to ask Arthur. Now, do you think that politicians trying to be funny like this, do you think it ever works?
Absolutely.
Or do you think it's always just a, yeah.
I understand want to make yourself more personalized to the people, you know what I mean? Make a little bit more of a connection, but not to me. It just makes you look like a joke. Like, flat out a joke. Like, leave the Twitter alone, like, get back to politics. Your country is kind of in the shit right now. So, concentrate on the fucking issues. Well, I don't want to say it's a complete write-off, but,
it's not.
You guys are fucked.
Yeah. Thanks.
Make sure you get out and vote in 2017, people, or 2018, because that's important.
Yeah, next year. Well, we should be seeing the campaigns of some of the people running for re-election and the people that are.
I don't want to talk about because it's big politics, but there was the big one in Georgia yesterday.
Oh yeah.
That people were hoping would go Democratic's way, and it did not. So,
but that was a close race. People did say
it was very close, especially in a place that's historically
Georgia.
Republican.
Yeah,
so
Georgia. Mm-hmm.
But do you guys think that 45 kind of opened up the floodgates for this kind of nonsense to make politicians feel like it's okay to kind of get out in the public and, you know, attempt at humor?
Can I just say, ding, 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 ding?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had Obama. And he would tweet occasionally, but and I mean, he made the odd jokes, but something about Obama came across as a little more genuine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Marco Rubio just seems like he's trying so hard to be funny. It's like, it's not even like a dad joke. It's just like that awkward weirdo that nobody likes joke, and they're just like, guy, you're just not funny. You can't read the room.
He's pretty much Zingbot from Big Brother.
Zingbot's funny.
I mean,
I love Zingbot.
I think if you're a toddler, yeah, sure, but you know what I mean? Like, it's got that same level of just like lame.
Yeah, there's not a ton of intellectual.
Yeah, right?
I also don't think a lot of people get the humor because it's too concise. Like, there's no, I feel like when you're doing comedy, there has to be an air of effortless that goes with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is like, there's so much effort going into this. You had to get Ivanka in on the joke, and it's like, girl.
And I think part of it comes across too is that it comes across as desperate. Like, there's that grain of like, he really wants people to know that he's a good hugger, and Ivanka wanted him to hug him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it was just like a joke, he would have been like, oh, I guess I forgot my deodorant today. You know what I mean? He could have did something like that, and people would have been like, haha, Marco, that's funny. But with him, like, oh no, we must get the pictures. It just was like, she wanted to hug me, guys. I'm an awesome guy. People want to hug me.
This almost crosses that same line that, and I'm going to bring this up, and not to make anything serious, the whole Kathy Twitter, I was going to call Kathy Twitter, Kathy Griffin thing, where it's, you kind of cross the line a little bit, like, that's not funny anymore. It's a little like, it's a little gross.
Different ways, but it's not funny.
Yeah, it's a little gross. Yeah,
I thought it was hilarious, the Kathy Griffin picture. I really did. Because
a lot of people did.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people did.
To me, humor has to be dark. It has to be, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like this, how do you say it? Like, the children's humor. Right? And that's kind of what Rubio's getting at here. Like Jacqueline mentioned, dad jokes. Like that.
Yeah. Oh. Did we lose everybody or just me?
Wait, we're here. I'm here.
Okay. I thought I was by myself. I didn't know if we got disconnected. Well, I just want to carry on with that. What I was going to say about Kathy Griffin was, while I didn't agree with it, because I'm really kind of the stance that I don't like, you know me, I don't like to wish death on people. I don't think killing people is funny, but I didn't think she deserved the backlash that she got. I don't think she should have lost gigs. I don't think she should have been fired from CNN's New Year's Eve thing. It's ridiculous. The backlash against her was ridiculous.
But Jacqueline, on the other side, and I kind of want to say this, and I'm sure I'm about to hear somebody's voice mimic my in agreement with this. One can be said, the same can be said about Bill Cosby. Right? Because some people are going to be like, yeah, but you know, you have to be able to separate the comedian from the joke or from the tragedy or whatever. Some people can say that. So where do we?
I can't really say that posing with a fake head is equal to raping like 50 women.
But one can say, and you know what they did on Fox News. Tucker Carlson, is that his name? The dweeb that replaced Bill Riley?
Yeah.
I hate you, Tucker Carlson. Like, really, honestly, I really hate you. Said that Kathy Griffin and the Republicans, rather the Democrats, are inciting violence now. You know what I mean?
Well, we remember when Ted Nugent said that he would like to shoot Obama, He didn't lose any gigs. I mean, he still went to his redneck conventions and stuff.
But you know how that is. But people did do an outcry for that, and people did say, don't. No,
and I'm saying I agree. What I don't like that kind of humor. I know Arthur said he enjoys it. That's fine.
I do.
My personal, but I just think that it went way too far. We didn't need to rake her over the coals. She apologized immediately, and I thought her apology was sincere. And then the next day, that press conference was weird, and she started to play the victim. That was a little too much. She should have stood by her guns and been like, look, I've already apologized, and F you all.
Yeah. See, I'm with you there.
Because that's what I like about her. She's ballsy.
And
I do like her humor.
We need more of that, We need more people to just stick by what they say, even if it is like an off-color joke. Just don't apologize. But I made a joke. You don't like it. Whatever.
Does Dave Chappelle apologize?
There you go.
He made rape jokes in his Netflix show. I didn't find it funny. He makes black jokes. He makes white jokes. He makes whatever jokes he wants. And I don't think I've ever called him apologizing.
Did the American public apologize for electing Donald Trump? No one's apologizing.
Well, to be honest, I think the people that didn't vote have more of a reason to apologize than the people that went out and voted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When half your country doesn't show up. And that's not just an American problem. We have nearly half the people not showing up in our elections either.
I think it was Jacqueline that had told me that in Australia, I love this. In Australia, if you don't vote, you can have, a criminal...
Like a fine. You get a fine or a ticket.
I like that. I like that because you know what? Far too many people have you know what, I'm not going to say this because it's going to put me into my rant, so no, I'm going to say that for a little bit.
All right.
No.
Okay, anything else we want to talk about on this this Marco Rubio thing?
No, Marco Rubio.
Yeah, I got one more thing. Ivanka's not hot. Stop talking about it.
She's not. You know what? She's got a nice body. She's got nice hair. But I shouldn't be judging people. I'm not the hottest chick in town either. But I don't get that she's that hot either.
I'm over it.
I have bigger boobs than her.
Speaking of boobs, that's a good segue, Ryan.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
I like
this
him.
guy is what, 2-3-time Oscar award-winning actor?
Three. No, 2.
Okay.
No, 3.
My Left Foot.
3.
And Lincoln.
There Will Be Blood.
Did he win for There Will Be Blood? Okay.
Yeah, he did.
And he's been in great movies. My husband loves Gangs in New York.
Gangs
he loves
in New York's
that movie.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loves it. Now he semi-retired in the 90s, I believe, or maybe the early 2000s, and he didn't do movies for a long time, and then he came back. Now he's announced yesterday that he's no longer going to be working as an actor at all. He's going to stay in his mansion in Ireland, and he's going to do some woodworking and, just kind of be free of Hollywood. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think it's good to go out at the top of your game, or do you think that you should hold on as long as you can and end up being like what's his name, Robert De Niro in that horrible movie where he was the intern with
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
That was an hour and a half I'll never get back.
I didn't watch it, so I just assumed it was horrible because she was in it. What do you think? Do you think he's making the right call?
Okay. First of all, number one, let me say this. I agree that you should go out and whilst you're still on top. However, he's a great actor, and we need more of him and less of people like Channing Tatum acting. Because holy crap, oh my God! If I have to see another Magic Mike, I am gonna kill myself. You know what I mean? Because I like Jacqueline. You know me. I love great acting. Love good movies, and the thing is, he's a great actor. He's one of the few actors that we actually have who loses himself into a role. But because I'm actually looking at his filmography, he hasn't done that much. He has not done that much. No,
he seems to be fairly selective to get him. That's why I wonder. I mean, kind of do a semi-retirement, maybe every couple of years, do a good project you believe in.
Yeah. But is it that? I'm sure you're going to disagree with me on this because you and I have a consensus on this, but do you think that maybe the roles just aren't there anymore for him? Like at least the good roles, because I feel like Hollywood's going through a big reboot, right? Like they're rebooting everything.
Every movie they want to make in Hollywood to me is like a reboot, a sequel, or a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of those things, like I have zero interest in, and I mean, I really have zero interest in superhero movies except for Spider-Man.
Oh my God, I love superhero movies. I love X-Men because I feel like I'm stormed by the powers of the Super Serengeti wins.
But yeah, I mean, they can be fun, but for somebody like him, like you said, he completely enmeshes himself and becomes that character. I think he lives as that character, even offset. Is that true? I thought I heard that.
Yeah, no, he completely immerses himself in the character.
I mean, can you imagine living as Abraham Lincoln for 6 months?
Oh, I'd love it.
Literally.
I'd love it. I'd love to be married to someone like that. Daniel Day-Lewis, can you divorce your wife and marry me?
It seems so intense. But I mean, you have people like Christian Bale that are super intense too. But I mean, we know how angry he can be. I don't recall ever hearing Daniel Day-Lewis being quite as aggressive.
He's very private. The thing is with Daniel Day-Lewis, he's an extremely private guy. Eh? He's very private.
What do you think, Arthur? Do you think he should retire? I mean, he's got to retire. He knows what's best for him, but it just seems premature to me.
Is it okay? Do actors actually retire? Are you working a 9 to 5? You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
Like to say you're retiring from acting to me is kind of a cop out, man. Like you work once a year, maybe. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, good on him. I'm not going to sit here and say he was a bad actor. I only really enjoyed Gangs of New York. I don't care about the history biopics and all that kind of nonsense. But, you know, I mean, I kind of look at it like Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z retired at the top of his game, and then what? A year later, he was back out producing garbage again.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Mr. Lewis will be doing the same thing.
I think so, too. I think you can only stay hidden away for so long. And, I mean, I don't think he's doing it for... You know, he's not trying to get popped, you know, like he's not out there trying to get the paparazzi action. He's not trying to be in interviews and, you know, have the most Twitter followers.
Yeah.
But I think at some point, somebody like that is obviously filled with a lot of creativity and stuff. What's he going to do with that? You know, you kind of got to get that out of your head. I think some actors are just like in their heads, and he's kind of got to get these things out of him. It's like exercising a demon.
Well, it's kind of like what Toni Braxton had said when she said she wanted to kind of retire from singing, and then she went back. She was like, I completely fell out of love with singing for a very long time.
Yeah.
It was like it was starting to become tedious. And can you imagine this woman who actually has a very extraordinary voice if you put it into perspective, right? Especially back in the day when everybody was like being super loud and hitting all those high notes that they sounded amazing in. Toni was kind of the different one. I get it. And maybe for, I don't know. I haven't spoken to Daniel in like 2 months, but I don't know if his feeling is that maybe it's starting to become a little tedious now. It's not as effortless as it was before, because that's what Tina had said, because she finally really, really retired. She was like, what was once effortless for me now feels like a drag every single time I go on stage and sing. You know what I mean?
I can definitely relate to that. I've been playing music since I was a teenager, and just recently I kind of fell out of love with it. And it happens, but I mean, I know personally I'll get back on that horse, and I kind of feel it's the same way with Mr. Lewis there. He might say for right now he's not interested, he's done, he's retiring, but he's not going anywhere.
Especially if it's your passion, it's really hard to walk away.
I'm sure if some amazing script falls into his lap, he's going to be lured back in.
But at the same point in time, with like guys like Leo coming up there, you know, and really acting the shit out of every role he's given, do we still need that old guard of actor?
I think Leo is overrated.
Really?
I didn't even say that. I love Leo. I think he's fantastic.
I used to agree with you until Django, and he won me over. Like, that was just amazing acting. I completely forgot that it was Leo.
He's too handsome.
Oh,
he's not even that handsome anymore. Like, he's kind of bloated, but I still love him. I still would.
But I love that. But you know, that's like my type of guy. You know, that's my type of guy. That's my type.
Oh yeah.
That whole dad bod.
Yeah, I was gonna say the dad bod's not sexy.
Oh, I love the dad bod.
I've been doing it all
I'm
wrong.
married to a dad, so I mean, I guess. I got my own daddy.
Like, you know how many cheeseburgers I've been eating to get that dad bod? Like, come on.
God, I love the dad bod.
Well, you were skinny for a long time. You must have had to eat a lot of cheeseburgers to get a dad bod.
It wasn't until I was like 25 till I finally broke that like 130-pound mark.
Well, teach me the secret to how to become skinny because I inhale one M&M and I'm 500 pounds all over again. I'm not saying that because I'm gay. I'm saying that because it's the damn fucking truth. It's like one M&M and I'm fat all over again. I cannot do this anymore.
Oh, God. You just got to do your sit-ups. That's what I always say to the kids.
I have to exercise.
They always complain about their stomachs. I'm like, just do sit-ups. Look at my stomach. I don't do sit-ups. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just talked very briefly about 45.
Yeah.
In Canada, we have our own Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau.
I love him.
People seem to think he's a dreamboat.
Prime Minister Centerfold.
He loves him.
I mean, look, this is what I'll say about him. I don't find him that handsome or sexy, but he looks great in a suit. He buys nice suits, and they really do drape his body well. He could have been a model with that body.
As far as world leaders go, ours is a 10.
Oh, he's hot. He's hot compared to, like, you know, a lot of these guys.
You guys are delusional because Angela Merkel looks the best.
I love her. I love her. I love that look she gave when she met 45.
Oh, my God.
But Costa Rica has a pretty cool president. This guy was... Did you guys look at the video? I told you to look at it.
Wait. Where?
Probably didn't.
Of the Costa Rican president?
Don't do any preparation at all, Ryan. I'm going to put you in a timeout. The president of Costa Rica is live on TV. I don't know what he's talking about at the time, but there was 3 or 4 reporters around him, right? And while he's talking, a wasp flew into his mouth. And instead of acting like the rest of us and screaming and waving your arms in a panic, he literally swallowed it. And then he laughed and he said, I ate it, I ate it, I ate the wasp, pure protein.
You know what? I like that. That's funny, Marco Rubio. That's funny.
That's real.
That's tough as shit.
Right? Like, there's a politician with some conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the kitchen today doing dishes and a mosquito buzzed by my ear and I nearly lost it. It was only a mosquito. I'm like thinking, why are there insects on this planet that just want to fly around us and scare us? And this guy literally ate a live wasp. I cannot fathom that. This guy is my new hero. I aspire to be this.
To me, I feel like sometimes, you know, because he's probably not super popular because he doesn't look like Justin Trudeau, who's my real husband in real life. I love you, Justin. Introduce me to you. People probably aren't gonna get themselves acquainted with him. His name, if you really want to watch the YouTube video, his name is Luis Guillermo Solis, right?
Riviera.
Solis, Jacqueline.
There's a Rivera on the end. I'm looking at it right now.
We don't worry about the Rivera. It's just Solis.
Okay. Now we need to know if this guy is a nice guy or if he's a bad guy like Putin.
No, he seems like a good guy.
I mean, I don't want to support somebody. Okay, I don't know anything about Costa Rican politics, so.
I'm Costa Rican.
I just hope he's not a Putin kind of guy that's, you know, disappears people.
I'm Costa Rican, if you didn't know.
So now this makes me think about insect dating. Would you know, like people, they keep trying to push these crickets on us and tell us that mealworms are the protein of the future and all this stuff. Would you eat a bug?
No, fuck off.
No. Absolutely.
Oh God.
Absolutely. Like, again, I was in Iceland last year and I've had some people say it was weird, but I ate whale while I was there.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm all for trying delicacies, I guess you could say.
No.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Now, do you draw the line? Any insect? Like, would you eat a cockroach?
Not ones that I'd find in, you know, Scarborough, but, you know, if it was prepared right, you know, fried up with some honey garlic sauce, yeah, sure, why the fuck not?
So what you're saying is you just wouldn't see one crawling on the wall, pick it up and eat it.
No, I'm not going to do that, but I mean, I'll eat your gourmet fucking insects, like, that's for sure.
No, what is wrong with you?
I'm adventurous, man. Like, I'm not going to be told, like, oh, that's food and that's not food. Fuck that. I'll eat a dog.
To me, adventurous is wearing a pair of Wellingtons whilst it's not raining and getting blisters. That's not adventurous to me.
Well, that's interesting. You said you'll eat a dog. Oh, yeah. I see that the Yulin Dog Meat Festival, which is supposed to be outlawed, is still going on now. Now, I've been in trouble with people before because I said, I don't really have a problem. I own 2 dogs. I was just petting my dog. I have no problem with people eating dog. Would I eat it? No, but that's because I'm fussy and I really don't eat anything. But as long as an animal isn't tortured, I mean, the same with horse. People are offended about horses becoming meat or pet food. As long as an animal's not tortured at the moment of its death or before it dies, I mean, meat is meat.
I'll say that about Iceland too. I had one of the best steaks in my life, and it was horse.
Oh my God.
I would eat that on the regular. It was amazing. Oh, don't knock it till you try it. It was so good.
People seem to love horse. Like I said, I mean, I personally, like I said, I don't eat anything. I wouldn't probably try it.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with people eating that.
I love pony hair shoes. I love pony hair bags.
Yeah.
I do not like to eat ponies.
And that's my other thing. I don't have a problem with hunters. I don't like people that do big game hunting or they don't eat the meat of what they kill. Like if you're going to eat something or wear a type of fur, you should at least be eating the meat that animal came from.
Okay, Jacqueline.
That's just me. I don't know, because I don't like when people like they take a lion's head and they put it on their wall or whatever. Like you're wasting animal meat. If you're gonna wear alligator skin, you should at least so that animal's not wasted. Someone should be eating that.
I want to eat alligator.
You know, if you go to the CNE, Scott has purchased in the past. They have a guy there that sells like all types of kielbasa's and pepperonis, and they have alligator jerky.
Nice.
Scott's tried it. Yeah.
That's the.
I of course did not.
That's the next one on my list.
There you go. You got to go down to Florida and try some alligator.
Yeah, like when I got home from Iceland, and a lot of my friends are saying, like, "Did you really eat whale?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." They're like, "Well, isn't that immoral to kill whales?"
No, it's not.
I'm like, the fuck do I care? Like, maybe here in Toronto it's immoral, but if you're living up north the Arctic fucking Circle and whale is what you have available, you know, harpoon.
I don't like that. You know me, I'm very pro whale, and they should be in the wild. But I mean, I'm not going to say somebody's a bad person for eating it. I don't like over hunting of animals. Obviously, it's the same with fish. You shouldn't overfish. You shouldn't overhunt. But people get surprised by. You know, I mean, you guys know I'm very pro animal. Yes. This will be shocking. I'm sure we'll get a lot of hate mail for this one. I'm pro seal hunt.
Oh,
Same here.
I was about to bring that up. Actually, you guys are murderers. Those cute seals.
They don't kill the baby seals. People think they kill the baby seals. They don't. They have it for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Lies and fallacies and phallic stuff in my mouth. No, that is a lie. I've seen Jacqueline. I implanted a camera in her body. She marched her way up to the Arctic Pole in Canada, and she started harpooning all
Now, this is why it's hysterical, because these uninformed people that are not from Canada don't even realize that they don't go to the Arctic to hunt the seals. They go to Labrador, the coast, the eastern coast of Canada. And
that's where Camilla Parker Bowles is from, because she looks like a Labrador.
Well, Diana did call her the Rottweiler. But yeah, and it's, you know, I'm not going to get into why I support the seal hunt, but I do support it. And it's not just because it's a traditional thing. I think it's a desperate way of life for some people to.
Well, a lot of people negate the conservationalist side of it.
Yes. Yeah. Overpopulation.
You know what I mean? And it's same to kind of even bring up what you were saying earlier about the big game hunting. Yeah, I can see how it might be problematic. The images, you know, they hurt people and their delicate sensibilities, but you have to kill the big alpha predators. You have to. Or else the other predators don't have a chance to live their lives. You know, and like I go on Ricky Gervais stuff all the time, because I know Mr. Gervais, he's very outspoken in regards to this, but you don't really understand the conservationist side of it.
Some of it doesn't. I mean, when they're luring a lion out of a park.
Oh, that stuff I don't support.
Right? When they're killing elephants and rhinos into extinction, I can't support that.
No. Okay, that's a little different. That is a little different. I will say that. Like, I
mean, if you're killing a freaking gazelle, I don't care. There's thousands of millions of gazelles. They're not in danger. If you are in an area where, maybe you've got some tigers that are coming into villages and killing people. Okay, you've got to kill those.
Yeah, it's a nuisance.
But I just think when there's a lot of animals that are endangered or are close to becoming endangered, I don't think we should be hunting them.
It's a fair point.
But I understand, It's just my own personal feeling. I understand the conservation point of it, but it's just like bothers me.
I just don't want them to harpoon me when I'm at the beach, like laying down on the sand tanning, and they think I'm the fucking beach whale. Okay, I'm an endangered species. That's the only thing.
Whale and nobody will hunt you. Okay.
But I mean, like, what's next? Are people going to start protesting the Costa Rican president for killing all the fucking wasps for his dinner?
I'm sure PETA will be.
Yeah, PETA. Of course, they'll be right up his ass about it. Save the wasps.
PETA will be like, oh my god, look at him. He made fun of it, and he didn't even think about its soul. You know what, honestly, I fucking hate PETA. Like, PETA, can you calm your titties for once in your fucking life? Like, really. Not everything has to be that fucking serious.
Yeah, I love animals and I try to support animals, but I'm definitely not a PETA supporter. They're a little too extreme.
Because somebody, I told Jacqueline the story about my coat, right? And they didn't know that the hood, it's kind of like Canada Goose. The hood of it has coyote fur.
Okay.
They did not know that what they ordered me, because it was a gift, was coyote fur. And said, you better get that out of this damn house, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's a fucking piece of fur attached to the hood. It actually has a function. I said, are you going to kill every single Native American that you see wearing fucking headdresses? Because they had to pluck a bunch of ostriches or whatever to get that. You know what I mean? And it's like...
Pretty sure it wasn't ostriches, but okay.
Whatever they used, Jacqueline comes like, calm down. Do you know what I mean? Like, calm down. No, but because for me, it's like sometimes people do forget, kind of like what Arthur was saying. Do we forget the functionality of it? And did we forget how our ancestors lived and the purpose of why they did it before? You know what I mean? I'm not saying go kill every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry animal in existence, but my point is, do have the what do you call that? Do have the understanding of why some people do. Like, fur coats are warm. They must be one of the warmest coats to wear.
But you can get a synthetic fur coat.
I tried it. It's not as warm.
It's just as good. You know what? We don't have to do everything our ancestors did. You know, some of our ancestors were cannibals.
Okay, now
do that
I kind of agree with, because I think we need we need to kill some people. I'm clearly joking, PETA and the people in the non-cannibal movement, whatever the fuck they are.
Whatever people it is you're killing, just throw some barbecue sauce on them, hibachi them up, and I'll fucking give it a go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he probably would. Yeah. Out of any of the three of us, that'd most likely become a cannibal.
I mean, I'd try it. I'm not, you know.
Arthur Dahmer here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's rant before we run out of time. We kind of ranted a little bit just now.
Okay, yes.
So if people know me, and I'll tell it to the world, I'm not ashamed. I work at No Frills, which is a low rent grocery store. I shouldn't even call it low rent. It's a more discounted grocery store. It's No Frills, and it's called No Frills because literally there's no frills. You pay for your shopping bags. We don't have fancy displays. You know, when you go into grocery stores and they have like 1,000 cases of pop shaped into the Canadian flag or to a football or something. We don't have that kind of stuff because we're No Frills. So I'm a cashier. I'm working on the lane. This thing drives me crazy. Please, people of the world, please listen to this. Share it. Tell your friends. When someone's putting their groceries up on the belt for me to scan, please wait to put your groceries up before they're finished, till they're finished, because most belts are automatic and they just keep scrolling until something blocks the laser. And so if somebody's putting something up one at a time and I'm scanning that item and you put your things up, it's going to come down and get intermingled with this next person's stuff. And then they're like, that's my stuff. Well, A, put a bar up, and B, don't put your groceries up until the next person's finished. Also, people that put their stuff up one at a time, not at the end of the lane, you're freaking annoying too. So put your stuff all up at the end of the lane so it all comes down together, okay? Don't bring up beside me and hand me things one at a time, because that makes me want to throat punch you too.
And it makes it longer.
Yeah, it does. I'm a very fast cashier. I can get an order done, like a $100 order done in like, a minute if you've got your shit up.
Yeah, but you have to remember, though, nobody cares about you. It's all about them and their own fucking entitlement.
Oh my God. Can you please just repeat that, Arthur? Please.
No one gives two shits about anyone but them fucking selves.
They don't.
You know what's funny? Because I'm going to say this. I think a lot of people are going to perceive our show as we're so selfish because we can come off as that. Like if you don't know, if you don't know us, you're probably going to be like, oh my God, these people are so selfish. They're just talking about their blah, 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 blah. But if you really listen carefully, we're probably one of the most caring people. I mean, that's pushing it for me. Yes. But pushing it for me. But there's someone on here who's an old lady, Jacqueline, who's super, super caring. No, but I do agree with that. I think people don't care, and that's probably why you're ranting about this, Jacqueline, because people don't give a shit. Like, to me, when I'm in a grocery store, the first thing I ever tend to do is, even if they don't have that little thingy, what do you call that? That little, I'm sure there's a fucking term for it. That little thing that separates the divider.
The divider, yeah.
I always wait until there's a huge gap between me and that, typically it's an old lady in front of me who takes forever and one thing and wants to get the cheaper one.
The check.
Yeah. And I put my stuff all in one go, and I always remember to say, guys, this is a word that doesn't exist anymore. It's a very, very rare word to hear. Thank you. After I'm run out.
Oh, maybe in America. I hear that a lot in Canada.
Oh, you don't hear that here that often. You don't hear people go, oh, I'm in a rush. Yeah, I am.
Oh, I hear that. I had a man tell me I was rude. I took, there were only 2 lanes open because I was doing some work. And we had the express lane, so she had lots of small orders. And then we had the other lane. She had like 8 huge cart lineup, a lineup of 8 carts. Mm-hmm. So I obviously went to the big carts and I took that. And I brought them because I don't just say come here because people will run, like the stampede. Mm-hmm. So I take the cart and I will physically bring it to my lane. Well, there was a man and he had just a package of hash browns. He's like, can you take me first? And I'm like, sir, this lady's been waiting in line a lot longer than you. I'm afraid I have to take her first. It's only fair. And he's like, but I just only have one thing. I'm ready to go. I'm like, sir, it wouldn't be fair if I took you. If they want to let you go ahead of them, then I'll gladly serve you. And so the first lady did not let him ahead of her. The second lady did. So I finished up the lady and then I rang him out. And as he's leaving, he's like, you shouldn't be so rude next time. I'm like, I was rude? Are you kidding me? I'm like, I was not rude. I was being fair. Right. And the lady that I'd served first was like, no, she wasn't rude. She was very nice to you. Like, I'm just like, I was rude. What?
You know what it is when people don't get their way, again, that selfish mentality of you're not considering that there were people on the line waiting. And
I mean, I get told I have great customer service every day. So I know I wasn't rude and I can be rude. I've seen rude at no frills.
Always tell me I give good service, if you know what I mean, lady.
I'm sure.
But actually, I had a similar experience. I was in a Duane Reade. It was either Duane Reade now, for people that don't know, it's been bought out by Walgreens. And I was there. I didn't have anything on me. Nothing on me. Clearly, you guys know what I'm buying.
No
pack of
cigarettes.
Clothes? No, nothing on me. Like, I didn't have, like, any items. Clearly, I'm buying, a pack of cigarettes, right?
Right.
And this lady behind me, she's annoyed. And I will say, the line was extremely long. There were only 2 people working the register, and I'm annoyed myself, too. But, you got to deal with it. You just have to. This is the way the world works. She says, and I quote, "Can I go before you?" To me. You don't even have anything on you. You probably don't even know what you're going to be. You're probably just going to ask a question. I said to her in the bitchiest way, "You fucking bitch. I'm just buying a pack of cigarettes." I'm like, I can't grab a pack of cigarettes because I could walk out the store without them, but I'm just buying a pack of cigarettes. Yeah. She's like, you don't have to be rude. I'm like, say that to the other 5 people, right? Who are in front of us.
Yeah.
And behind you, who also have to wait the line and wait their turn, whether you have 1 item or 2 items or 3 items or a billion. Put in consideration that
somebody's time is always more valuable than anybody else.
Yeah, it's like you're not the only person in this world. Shut the fuck up. Like, stop having that sense of entitlement that your time is somehow more precious than mine. Like that guy that you had, oh my God, I would have flipped because I don't have the patience for shit like that. I just don't. I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, I don't know. It all comes down to entitlement. It comes down to people not giving two shits about the person standing next to them, and they just care about themselves.
Yeah,
it's kind of why I hate humanity.
Don't hate all humanity. Thank you, assholes.
I'm a misanthrope. Like I hate people. I really do. I don't know. Like it's hard to put in words, but it kind of comes down to that whole thing. Like everyone wants to fucking walk all over everybody just to get their own little bit of self gratification. You know what I mean? To make their day a little easier, their day a little quicker. Well, you know what? Go fuck yourself, bro, because I don't care about you. Like, take a fucking hike.
That actually brings me to my rant. Am I free to go into my rant?
Yes.
Yeah. Get your popcorn ready, guys,
because this is gonna come as
get your hate mail email ready to go to.
And my email is JDR. I'm kidding. Because I'm gonna give out my age if I give you my full email to that. Okay, so I am a part of the gay community. No, I don't hate gay people. Yes, I am gay. Get ready. I hate Pride. I dislike the gay community because it's a bunch of farce. No, I hate it when people say, "Oh, I have a gay friend and he's super freaking accepting, and his friends are all super accepting too," and blah 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 blah. No, we're the most judgmental motherfuckers in the world. If you're wearing last season's Prada shoes, I'll probably point that out to you. If your makeup is at least 2 shades lighter than your actual body tone, I will point that out to you. If your hair is out of place, I will point that out to you. No, we're not the most accepting people.
I don't even know why you're my friend, because I'm all of those things, except I have never owned a pair of Prada shoes. So.
Okay, well, besides the point, Jacqueline. But my whole thing is about Pride. And this is going to come off as a bitter old person, and I am not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old, people. And to put this into perspective, I don't fit the homo norm. I cannot believe I said that. The homo norm of the gay community, right? I can't speak about the lesbian community because to me, the lesbian community is a farce. They don't exist. They're not real. They're just a bunch of woodland creatures walking around that aren't really real.
Home Depot. I would just say that I do not endorse or condone any of these comments. All hate mail, please address to Ryan. Thank you.
No, but I do feel like Pride to me is a representation of those. Today I am gay and proud, and it's like, what about the other 364 and a half days that you've got to be gay and actually fight for the real causes, the real problems that we have, right? Like it's like you're gay for that one day with your ludicrous outfits, your little leather bars going down your chiseled torso, and you've got that little leather hat and those leather cuffs. Like that's the one day you get to express yourself, because Ryan over here, me, she's gay all the time. She's walking down the streets with her little switch in her hips. She's carrying her little man purse. And she's proud all day. She's fighting for her rights all day. You know what I'm saying? But you're gay that day. You who don't know nothing about... No, wait. You who don't know anything about the actual gay history, the gay fight, the gay shit, you're the representation of gays on Pride. You're the ones on the posters, because ain't nobody never seen, especially in New York motherfucking city, one of the most vain cities in the world, because we do have Pride posters and stuff like that. Ain't nobody ever seen no motherfucking fat ass person on those gay posters. It's always some chiseled hunk on the posters, but no one ever. But because see, this is my problem with the representation of the gay community now, especially the now. Who cares about your real compelling story and your real struggle about being gay and the real shit you've done for the gay community? Oh, you're handsome. Let me put you on the poster. Oh, you're more masculine than I am. You're going to be the one on the poster. You're going to be the representation of the gays, opposed to the actual people behind me, behind you, who've done shit for the fucking community. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, that's the day that you recognize to be gay. Because that's the only day you get to actually justify your gayness, the gay pride. Let's be frank. Gay pride, most people, you know what they do? They go to these things and try to find somebody to hook up with, go to the bars, get super fucking drunk and hook up with. Probably in the toilet in the bar, or take them into their fucking shitty ass apartment. That's the day that they use it for. No one actually ever celebrates pride the way it needs to be celebrated for, like I had said earlier, where you're a little bit more silent and you recognize what that day represents. You know what I mean?
So the actual you think that instead of being like a huge, you know, party, or, I mean, the crazy outfits and the music and the glitter and the water spraying and all that stuff, instead of that, you think maybe it should be more of a day of acknowledgement of actual...
Yes, absolutely.
The past and what's still going on in certain parts of the world.
Because it's those who don't know that party. Let that be on my headstone. It's those who don't know that get to party on that day. You know what I mean? It's those that don't actually really know the real history of the gay community, or the gay struggle, that get to party that day. They don't know what it's like. You know, a lot of these people, they live these gay charmed lives, I call them. And oh God, I sound like an angry old lady. I'm sure I do. I don't care.
I was going to say, do you...
Go ahead.
Do you think it's fair to say that the people partying and having a good time don't know the history, or don't have their own personal struggles every day?
Most of them don't, and don't lie. I'm sure you know why I'm saying that.
I'm not saying. I want to make sure we have all the answers or the questions asked. We don't want to be one-sided, right? So do you think that, I mean, we know that gays and lesbians and, you know, the whole LGBTQ, they suffer on a daily basis. I don't know where that came from. They suffer on a daily basis, right?
I love it. Yes.
Who's to say that they can't do both? They can't recognize the past and the future.
But what are they doing to be advocates?
What are you really doing? You don't know every person that's at Pride.
No, of course I don't. No, of course I don't. And I am generalizing. I am admitting that. I'm generalizing what I'm saying here. And I am coming off as bitter, but I wish that people would recognize what I'm trying to say. You're gay the other 364 and a half, because, you know, we have that stupid half day. 364 and a half days out of the year. Why don't you do it every single time? You know what? You know what's a free forum? What we're doing right now, this is a free forum. You know what you've got? You've got YouTube. Record your videos, talk about it, rant about it, voice about it. But you just standing there, kind of doing the whole big group, because these people, they flock in groups, right? They flock into these big groups, and they're like, oh my God, yes, I understand that struggle. I totally get it. You don't. No. You don't get it. Because what have you done to try to actually change
you would have to assume a lot of these people might have been in Washington marching for the right for same-sex marriages. Right? That was only a few years ago, and there was huge marches. You remember I would cry over Lieutenant Daniel Choi?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. And he's super handsome.
You know, I thought he was a great, brave guy. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's easy to generalize. I know you're making a generalization, and I see your point, because sometimes I do think that in celebration of Pride, people do forget that there are still people dying.
But why don't we actually ever talk about the real struggles? Like, no one talks about that. No one does what, at least I feel like I've done. You know what I mean?
I don't think that there's no one talking about it. I just might not be as...
People are more concerned about, and I'll tell you this, I'm sure on Pride, Grindr is a buzzing, Scruff is a buzzing. These are all the gay hookup apps.
I'm sure.
Jacked, all of them is a buzzing. What is it? Squirt is a buzzing. I can't
speak for Pride in America or any other country but Toronto. And I've only been to Pride twice myself. But I will say that in the month leading up to the big Pride celebration here in Toronto, we do have a lot of events where they talk about the history, about AIDS awareness, about children on the streets, about all these different things. There are a lot of things that people are looking. You can find it. Now, is that to say everybody's looking? Probably 95% are not.
But
it's there.
But see, I'm gonna put this up, and I'm sure this is gonna bring up some feelings for me. I'll never forget, because I went to an after-school program that was specifically for gays, or for gay children. It was a community outreach after-school program, and they had a float every year. Very recognizable. When I mention it, it's very recognizable, so I'm not going to mention it just to kind of spare some feelings, because it was very biased to the people that work there. But the people that work there aside, specifically the people who would want to go on the float, because they had a float every year, guaranteed they had a float, right?
Right.
The people that got to be voted on to go on the float, you know why they wanted to be on the float? So they could be gawked at while they were half shirtless and potentially.
Well, not everybody's intentions are pure. We know that. I mean, there's no difference in Santa Claus parade. People don't want to be in the Macy's Day Parade because they want to be looked at, right? And want attention.
Well, my thing is, the reason why I think I am a little bit bitter, and this is why, I'm a part of the Bitter Knitters today. I feel like the gay rights, a lot of the younger gays don't actually really know. Like, you know what? Do your research on who Harvey Milk is. Do your research on.
But I mean, can't you say that for the same as blacks people? A lot of the young black kids wouldn't know, the people that fought and marched in the civil rights movement, because those are the people that were the pioneers. They are not I don't know many of the Canadian suffragettes.
Yes. No. Yes. But we also sit here though, Jacqueline, you and I specifically, right?
Yeah.
Well, we do talk, like we just did it. We just spoke about how, vote. You don't go. I think it was on Monday. You don't complain, vote. Yeah. Do something about it. You don't get to complain if you didn't vote. For gay people, it's like my problem with gay people is that we have to first be accepting within our community in order for us to be accepted by the bigger picture, because we are the most judgmental motherfuckers in existence. Hey, Jacqueline, you know this.
Well, you'll be the expert.
Oh my God, but you know this, because I'm a fucking, I'm going to say this word. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. Hate mail to me. I am a mean cunt. I really am. And the truth is, it doesn't come from the community. That's just me. I'm there. I hate everybody. Me and Arthur were actually just talking about this before going live. I hate everybody. But there's a reason for that. And for me, it's like, my whole thing is, you have to first be the example in order for you in order for them to, use you as the example. You get what I'm saying? For them to learn from you. And I wish that gay people would be like that, because a lot of the times you find these gay, like you'll hear comments sometimes on Pride. I'll never forget, a friend of mine had said, I never went to Pride, but it was during Pride. He had gotten home. He called me. He was like, I didn't understand why there were gay people, straight people there. What? You don't understand why there were gay people there? I mean, straight people there? The whole reason why they're there is because they are allies.
Yeah.
But you don't understand why they're there. You know what I mean? Like, why were you there? You know what I mean? Like, question yourself why you're there. I don't go to Pride because to me, it's like, you know what? I don't get to celebrate until I feel like every single gay person has had the opportunities that I have gotten to have. I don't get to celebrate Pride because of that. And I hold myself to that standard. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everybody should, but I wish that everybody would look upon themselves sometimes and say, you know what, Ryan, you make a good point. I'm going to try to make a change within our community. Because the problem for me is within the community. It's just like Puerto Rican Day Parade. It's just like Dominican Day Parade. All those motherfuckers convulge with each other just so they can fuck each other. Let's be frank about this. You know what I mean? No one goes there for the real cause. Do you know the history of Puerto Rico? Do you know the history of Dominican Republic? You know what I'm saying? It's half of the kids, and I am mostly talking about the youth, half of the kids don't even know when it's only really been a couple of years since gay rights or gays have been allowed to be married. There's still a lot of work for us to do. You know, there's still states that can allow that are allowed to fire you. Now that Trump has put in an executive order allowing religious groups to, you know, talk about politics, to discriminate and not be taxed for it, and still be not taxed for it. That opens up a bunch of doors. Now is the time for us to fight even more. Stop the partying and stop thinking about Pride as a party, and think about it as a sense of maybe we should all, you know, get together and talk about how are we going to voice our real opinions. Because I think we lose that in Pride. I think all it is some big show, some big parade, because that's what it is. A big parade to just show off how big your junk is or how big your titties are if you're a lesbian. You know what I mean? Honestly.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think Arthur might want to rant about how long you ranted for.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just like, you know, I'm a straight white man. Like, I can't really chime in on this. You know what I mean? My perspective is kind of out there already. My whole thing is it's kind of in tune to what Ryan's saying, though. Like, if Pride is just a big parade, a big fuck fest, then do we fucking need it? If it's no longer a protest, you know, and I support fucking protesting. I really do. Like, get out in the streets, fucking speak your voice, let it be heard. But if we're at the point now where it's no longer a protest and it's just a party, well, then aren't you accepted? Can't you just go and live your gay life? Do you know what I mean? Now, again, straight white male, I've never experienced the level of hatred, and, you know, I don't get fired from fucking jobs because I like women. But I don't know. It's just... like, again, I don't like having an opinion on this because I feel like, again, as a straight white guy, like, it's not my place.
Right.
But at the same point in time, I mean, fuck, if you guys want to get out in the street, fucking party, go for it. I don't give a shit.
That's every Friday night for most people that go to gay bars.
But and I do agree with what Ryan was saying. Like, why are you gay half a day out of the year? Like, why are you proud of who you are half a day of the year? Like, wear your fucking rainbow year round. I'll high five you.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, Arthur. Thank you for validating my point on that. Yeah.
Like, it's so weird to me, and it kind of brings me to my point of, like, tribalism. How nowadays you have to find a clique, you have to find a group of people, whether it be a racial group or a sexual group or whatever the fuck it might be. You need to find that and just hold on to it for fucking dear life to validate your existence. Now, again, I don't get to do that because, you know, white people, we destroyed the fucking world.
Well, and it's even like with, you know, obviously we're a lighter day today, hopefully, but I mean, even political parties, you will blindly support, and this is not just in America. I'm talking about Canada too. You blindly support your liberals or your conservatives or your NDP or your Green Party, no matter what. And you can't ignore. I mean, look, I voted Liberal the last election. Am I the hugest Trudeau fan? No. But I liked some of the things he was saying, but he's really let me down on the Aboriginals. He's really let me down on pipelines.
I only voted for Trudeau because I thought Harper's time was done.
That was my biggest issue. That was the other thing. I could not deal with another Harper government.
But to be honest,
so I went Liberal.
I definitely voted Harper the last election.
Well,
it is what it is. I mean, again, I don't care about other people's feelings, especially when it comes to voting. I'm voting for what I believe in and who has the platform that I can support.
But you know what I'm hearing, Arthur? You voted.
Oh, absolutely.
Not a lot of people can say
absolutely. I will never not vote. I will not have
me as well.
that taken away from me.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people.
I had people saying in the last election they were going to withhold their vote or they were going to go there and recruit their vote. And I was like, please do not do that. You may as well not even show up.
Yeah.
You're not making a political statement. They don't want you to vote. If you don't vote, then there's a better chance the party you don't want to win is going to win. So why are you doing that?
I look at it as it's a right under my Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and I like to express my rights in every way possible.
Yes.
And voting to me is the main one, next to my freedom of expression.
Yes.
And people think these votes don't matter because we're talking millions of votes, but look, 9,000 votes separated Hillary and Trump. And I mean, I know people think it was more because there's 3 million votes or whatever, but due to the electoral, 9,000 votes.
Yeah.
If she'd gotten those 9,000 votes in those 2 electorals, she could have been the president.
Yes. You don't get to complain if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my whole, and I guess to me, like, that's my whole point, is it's like, don't talk to me about how you feel oppressed as a gay person and you haven't done shit about it.
Exactly.
Like, really, don't do that to me. Especially if you live a super charmed life. Not to go back into the whole thing, but yeah, you know, I know we're coming to a close, but
we are.
You know, and happy Pride to anybody who's celebrating. I know that you said in Toronto it's going to be this weekend as well. It's the same thing in New York. Happy Pride. Be safe.
Happy Pride. Be safe. Make smart choices. And also, we didn't get to talk about him, but hopefully Prince Philip over in England will recover. I know he's very old and death is not that far away, but let's hope it's a little farther away than today. So
too soon. It's going to be too soon.
I won't say too soon. I mean, the guy's in his 90s. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please comment. We really appreciate it, Sister Patty, and Jacqueline and Ed leaving us comments on our YouTube page, and hopefully some more people will comment and leave questions. You know, if you leave a good comment, we will mention it, and you know, you could be the hate mail of the week, as Ed has promised. So
please send me hate
let's
mail.
hope.
Yes.
Yeah, I just like to end it by saying, "Go fuck yourself, Ed."
Yeah.
Yes, go fuck yourself, Ed. We love you. And we will see you guys all on Monday with another edition of Bitter Knitter. So thank you for joining us. Bye.
Thanks.